Black people scare you, don't they? What about me? Do I pose a threat? I know the media pushes images of violence that shapes your implicit bias, and you don't even know it yet, but it couldn't be me. I weigh $183, soaking wet, so in a show of respect, Kaepernick takes a knee, because it wouldn't even take a knee to choke me to death. So we plea. I can't breathe. And the police, don't even hold your breath. What is it about me that scares you again? Seriously, go ahead. What is it that's much more important than a human life that you hold instead? We all watched George Floyd's life leave his body with a knee on his almost broken neck, pleading for his dead mother, while 2 other officers hold his legs. There's no excuse. But you'll find it still. Politicking like I yield my time. I yield. Bitch, we're running out of time to yield. Let's play a game. You get pulled over behind the wheel, the glove box is where the registration and license chill, but your hands are on the dashboard. And if you reach for what they asked for, you might get killed depending on your skin color, treating accordingly on a sliding scale. Did you know 1 out of every 3 black men should expect to spend time in jail? I feel enlightened. I might as well. See, this goes back to that sliding scale because it's 1 out of every 17 for a white-skinned male. That's a failure and embarrassing. It makes sense. The rate of arrest for black men and white males pale in comparison. It's systematic. But let them control the narrative like blacks in the bludgeoning. You turn your backs to the suffering. That's so American, the original sin. Until that's rectified, I don't want to hear a word after. Case in point, your national anthem, the hidden third stanza, no refuge can save the hireling or slave from the terror of flight and the gloom of the grave. 2020 and they still that sick. It gives me chills. I bet most of y'all didn't even know they concealed that script. And though we don't say that verse anymore, it's true. What it reveals is this, is we were never intended to be included in the original spirit of this country. That's why we kneel and sit, because we could put George Floyd's hand over his heart right now and he wouldn't feel that shit. What was it about me that scares you again? Oh, I'm aggressive? I'm not that tough. I'm from Olympia, not even from a block that's rough. Black people are the people of the sun. We are non-stop love, but I've seen things that have made my heart grow cold. So now not even God I trust, because that blue-eyed supremacist sat in that all-black church for an hour and they accepted him as ours. And he shot it up. No more lies and excuses. I don't want to talk that much. You talk that stuff, you get in a hauled back punch. Won't even get a hit off me, not even a contact buzz. There were more before Floyd. What was it about this time? You're killing your own kind. Oh, the black people are out of line, out of line. Are black people responsible for the external conditions that systematically create breeding grounds for crime? When black people say they are trying to find a way out, what are they trying to get a way out? Out their minds, by the way. That church shooter left off 70 rounds and reloaded 5 times. He's only 21. Where'd he learn all that hate from? Certainly he wasn't a Confederate since day one, or is it in the fabric relative to the same cloth? I think of Breonna Taylor when they say, if you would have obeyed the law, the situation never would have came up. They shot her in her sleep. She still sleeps. She still doesn't know she's never gonna wake up. Are you ever gonna wake up? You only fucking learn when something burns. We are not responsible for your guilt, but we will give you room to come to terms. This is not a game. I don't subscribe to any political party. I think you're all insane. I come from an interracial relationship. And I can tell you firsthand, my father didn't weaken my mom's line, he strengthened it, the original people. That's why we make a fist. A white couple can't make a black child. A black couple can make an albino baby kid. The beautiful people, kings and queens. African American, what does that even mean? In 2006, Nazis occupied the Olympian newspaper. We showed up to keep the peace. They told us to stop playing our monkey drums. We ran them out of town. We let freedom ring. They tried the Capitol building, but we seen them on the streets. We beat them to the top of the Capitol steps. They were protected. The police were on the scene. Fast forward 2020. 14 years later, a Thursday evening greet, I spoke on those same Capitol steps and asked who's lived here for 35 years. No one could even speak. I am Olympia. And I want to see it reach its peak. That's why when I realized I came looking for black leadership, that black leadership was me. What is it about me that scares you again?